Yo everybody, what is good? And today we are finally getting this thing underway. I've been wanting to do this and now we are finally going to do it. F1 My Team. Obviously F1 24 just came out a couple weeks ago now. A video just came out a couple days ago. Two-player career again with my boy Ilisana. We did it in F1 23 as well, so go check that out. But today we are going to be starting our own team here on the channel. I wanted to put out like a poll and kind of get you guys' opinion on like what sponsor we should have, what teammate, should we have icons, all that kind of thing. But I really just wanted to start it. So this year, at least, this season, I should say, this first season will be like basically under my control. Next season and seasons going on, if this series really gains traction, no pun intended there, but if it does gain some traction, then we will definitely, I really want to get you guys involved, so that will definitely happen. But we are starting as a newcomer, full season, full F1 season, and then let me go customize the settings real quick, and I'll show you guys the important ones. Okay, I think everything is set. It should be. Difficulty, I guess, wasn't. Now, I am not the best at this game, so I think we're going to put AI difficulty on 90. And see kind of where that puts us. If you've seen F1 2-player with Ilisana, you know, maybe sometimes we're not the best drivers. But I think we'll leave it at 90 for now. Full qualifying format, medium race length, so 35% of the actual real life race length, and then standard damage and damage rate. Collisions are on. Confirm the settings. We're not going to use MyTeam icons for now. I know some people might want to, but we aren't, at least for this season. Now, driver. Who will be our driver? Obviously, our name and everything. Alright, so obviously, I am an American. So, our driver is American here. And you know, what's the most American name that I could think of? Beans. Beans Johnson. And my favorite number is 22, but there is a guy named Yuki Tsunoda who currently occupies that number. But Beans Johnson will be the owner of this squad, and that squad's name and everything will be determined here in a second. As let's get our clothing and everything sorted. Alright, our team name. Unless you guys can find me a more creative name, I think for right now we are going to be Rossy Racing Inc. or Incorporated, and let's.
The better we perform, the more our level will go up as the
So we want a good signing bonus, but we also want a pretty good goal. I feel like we could get 15 points. I also like Compass. 4.1 signing bonus, 2 points on the season earns us 2.68 mil. I think that's actually pretty good. One of the higher weekly ones, weekly incomes as well. I think we're going to go with Compass as our main sponsor for season number 1. And now our engine. Do we want to go with an engine that's pretty good performance-wise and is not going to cost as much as the Mercedes engine, but is going to have durability issues? Yeah. Well, we're going to go with Ferrari as our season 1 My Team engine and our secondary driver. Do we start with 2 Americans on the same squad with Brad Benavides? Benavides? Or do we go with someone who's actually like pretty solid, a Frederick Vesti, or a Enzo Fittipaldi, Jahan Daravala? I don't want to spend too much on a contract, and you know what, screw it.
Looks like we can't afford
full American lockout. Brad Benavides or Benavides. I'm struggling here. But this is going to be the lineup for Rossy Racing Incorporated. Compass is our main sponsorship. Ferrari is our engine, and Brad B is our secondary driver, and we will be able to hold on to about 600 grand here. Or 500 grand, I should say, going into the season. Okay, so I sorted out the branding and the livery, so you guys will see that in a second. You actually can see the branding in the back for Rossy Racing Incorporated. But let's listen to Natalie Pickman.
To reveal a new car, but today is much more than just the car. It's about a brand new team, and one in which the owner also happens to be the lead driver. That's right, for the first time in modern F1 history, we're going to have an owner-driver on the grid. And it's been a Herculean effort, a huge amount of resource and staff recruitment, and a brand new factory, one in which we are standing right now. And the small matter of producing a car that can take on the big names on the grid. So let's take a look at it now.
Your newest Formula One team, Rossy Racing Incorporated. Look how smexy that car looks, man. Oh my goodness. Honestly, I love the look of it. Alright, so we want to answer these pretty, like, strategically. From what I remember in previous F1 games, depending on how we answer them, obviously we'll gain some R&D points, some boost to some of our facilities. I don't think this question will in particular, but we will back our team just to get that team chemistry kind of cooking here.
What made them the right fit for this project?
But Big Brad B, you know what? Skill sets really suit our team, aka he's American.
What are you prioritizing?
And so here's where we want to be strategic. Do we want to have really good chassis and give them a little bit of a boost? I really think early on being able to focus on aerodynamics and getting through corners is really going to help us out, especially in like qualifying and like trying to match up with these other teams like Kick Sauber, RB, Alpine, Haas, Williams in the midfield. So competitors, blah blah blah. Yeah, that one. Okay, powertrain noticed. We love that. Do we just keep talking about our car? I feel like we do.
Now, ultimately,
Go more into aero with that answer. What are we most... Okay, so this is probably the big question. What are we going to start with? And maybe since we went aero twice, we go with chassis. Really try and make this car kind of a light... really light car, maybe not a ton of powertrain behind it, but we can get through corners, and it's very shifty, I guess you could call it. But there is our first interview, with I believe it's Natalie Pickman, isn't it? Right? Or am I just tripping? But there is the car in its full. Let's get these timelines cooking here. We'll go aero chassis focus. Although, wait, let's take a look at R&D. So we got 2 in aero, 0 in chassis, 4 out of 23 in powertrain. Obviously, we are last on the grid. Kick Sauber is the only real close team to us, to be honest. Williams and Haas are kind of both a little bit farther out than Kick Sauber, so that's going to be our rival. That's who we are going to be really challenging to beat in these first couple race weekends. Let's actually keep it on that. Can I not do... What? Alright, maybe we won't do that. Alright, let's do driver camp to end, because we want to give ourselves the best possible chance here to try and make something out of this first weekend in Bahrain. Yeah, we don't have anywhere near the amount of cash to do any sort of upgrades there. What is going to be big is how quickly we can get our claim up to level 5. Where Brad is a 59 overall. Not great stats, but the focus is high, and from previous games, if you have good focus, you can get places. So we have 1,500 resource points to use here, and I think I'm going to put it in to our chassis. Let's a little bit of this upgrade our floor a little bit. We still have 750 to use. Can we get anything with that? Maybe in durability? No, 800 seems to be the lowest, which is fine. Because we'll do the quick practices and then we'll hop right into the qualifying, so I will see you there. Look at our team hard at work, getting on those laptops. Me and Brad walking in the building for the first time here in F1 2024 as we look at the sessions for the weekend. Alright, now we are back to where we can actually do quick practice. I think tire management here, I mean, you think of Bahrain, you think of tracks like Jeddah where we'll be next. Tire wear is so important, and we will quickly get through 2 of those, and then we'll do a race strategy. But I'm not really worried about qualifying pace. I think the big thing here is going to be our race pace, because whether we qualify high or not, I highly doubt we get even out of the first round of qualifying. I guess we'll see, but like, I would rather have that really good race strategy over qualifying possibly close to the top 10, because I know that's probably not where we're going to finish. But we'll pick up some extra resource points and some research here, as we have yet to miss. Yeah, it's saying we're projected to be, you know, back half of the grid, you could say, or back 2 spots, myself and Brad, but let's hope for something a little bit better. I think we can get out of the top 20. All right. Here we are in qualifying session numero uno for us here in F1 24. Let's go see where we're at, man. I don't know how good this car is going to feel through corners, even with all of the little chit-chat that we had about how good our aero is, but we're about to find out. Keep that battery engaged. ERS deployment is on hot lap. First laps turned in the Rossy Racing Incorporated car is now. Oh, back end really falls out right there. I think it was because we still had overtake on. I did not mean to. I forgot to take it off. That was a little bit cleaner. Still can't quite jump on the gas. The powertrain, I think, is a little too strong for our aero and our chassis right now to really jump on the gas that quickly like I want to. Hamilton sets a 1:31.031 for the fastest time of the session, and Russell immediately tops it, as we're struggling to find grip here in this car. Not a ton of ERS charge here. We're doing what we can. It'll definitely have to be something that we work on. Our ERS, we're going to get the DRS right before the start-finish line. It's not going to be a great lap. We do top Valtteri Bottas in the kick Sauber. Brad underneath him. Magnussen and Ricciardo ahead of us in 5th and 6th. We'll go back to the garage. Alright, with 5 minutes now remaining in the session, Lando Norris has put down the best lap at a 1:29.9. Only man in the 1:29 time zone as well. So McLaren together have the best lap. We are now 19th. We beat our teammate Bottas and Zhou Guanyu. We somehow would have to make up 5/10 on our best lap to catch Kevin Magnussen. And really Pierre Gasly, Sargent, like those guys. And that would be where it would be to get into Q2. So let's go out and try another attempt. Alright, coming to our 3rd lap now. We give Albon a little bit of a tow down the front stretch. New softs were put on. really get the car slowed down that time. We just can't get through these corners putting the power down. Now through the S's we go. Albon right on us. We'll try to get a little bit of ERS out of this into the tricky turn 10, where I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little bit of a lockup. We really pulled away from Albon right there. This is a much, much better lap. 32 seconds left in the session. So this will be our final go at it, as we won't have enough overtake to really do much more. 3/10 up on our best lap, but it's just not going to be enough. This car doesn't have it. Although, through the last turn, we gained some serious speed and are up to 16th. I believe just outside of the cutoff, and Bottas goes ahead. Qualifying complete. I don't have enough overtake to really put down anything else. And we are back down to 19th. Just like that, and probably 21st with Magnussen behind us. So in Q1, Norris goes fast as he can't even improve on that time. We end up 21st with our teammate Brad in 22nd, Sargent 20th, Bottas 19th, Zhou Guanyu in 18th, and Alexander Albon, who we gave that toe to, ends up in 17th, right under the cutoff. Unfortunate, to say the least, but kind of what we expected in our first Q1 of the season.
No more testing, no more practice. This is the real deal, and it's make or break here at round 1 of this year's Formula One World Championship. We go racing today around the 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit, with 15 corners and 2 good passing opportunities into turns 1 and 4. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left tyre into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. Edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Russell, Hamilton, Oscar Piastri, Perez, Stroll, Gasly, Tsunoda, Ocon, Hulkenberg, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Albon, Joe, Bottas, Sargent, the owner driver, and Brad Benavides. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. And alongside me today is a man who needs no introduction, but I'll try anyway. It's Ant Davidson. Now, it's a new season, plenty of new opportunities, but I think I'm going to start with a question we may have asked last year as well. Can anyone stop Max Verstappen?
That's what they're hoping for, and that's what we're hoping for as well in some ways, because we don't want to see just one driver or one team running away with it this season like we had last year or even the years gone by in this sport. Can we get to see a two-way or even a 3- or 4-way fight throughout this race today? Fingers crossed we'll get that.
All right, first race day of the season and first race day for our team in its history. Now, we've got to play a little bit of a strategy. I think we go even a little bit long on the hards. I think the hards are a really good race tire. How long they will actually be of use is going to be the question. If we can take it 12 and be in a really good spot, maybe be inside the top 10 with the entire cycle, or at least close to the top 10, and maybe get into that midfield mix somewhere between 14th and 17th by the end of this race, I would be ecstatic with that, is what I'm trying to say. Myself, Beans Johnson, and our teammate Brad Benavides, we are in the back row lockout. Sargent and Bottas immediately ahead on that second to last row. You know, Sargent is not known for really having great starts to races. So maybe he's someone that we can pick off early. They're all in the softs. Me and Brad looks like the only two on hard. So we're playing the long game here with our team. I'm actually really glad Brad went with the same strategy as myself, because I think when you're this far back, it's really the only option that you have. As we come in to the final corner of the Bahrain International Circuit, we look ahead to our spot on the formation behind Valtteri Bottas. Next to Logan Sargent. Purple formation as we head to 5 red lights for the first time in 2024 for Rossy Racing Incorporated. We are underway and the car did not go at all. Craziness ensues ahead of us though. And what a horrible start to this Bahrain Grand Prix. We have some slight wing damage. We are through though. Shouldn't be any sort of immediate need for repair as we are 3 wide with the Saubers instantly into the mix. As we can't turn right, this is going to be a problem. As these tires fall away here quickly, might I add, at Bahrain, that wing damage is going to become a major, major factor. I mean, you saw it, as I'm still really having some problems trying to slow the car down behind these other cars. But you saw it with the contact, or right after the contact with Bottas going through those quick S's. We really are having some trouble trying to turn right. Car is super, super tight through these right-handers. How long can we hold these guys off behind us? Obviously, they're on the softs. Magnussen actually on the hards as well. So he's a guy that we want to stick around. But these guys in the soft tires, if they go by us at this point in the race, it is what it is. They're not in our race. At least not right now. We got to play this smart, especially with the damage that we have sustained here on lap 1, as Bottas really giving us a run for his money, trying to close us off, but we've got DRS, so we are going to be able to challenge this into turn 4. He does get around us, however. Even though we're somewhat close on R&D with the damage and the tire difference, it really isn't close. The two Williams in between our two cars, as Albon and Sargent both with horrendous starts to this race. Albon, I believe, was in 17th at the start of it, down to 21st actually. Sargent's the one behind me. And here comes Logan Sargent. Around the outside is the way he tries to go. He's going to have DRS though here, and that Williams with the Mercedes engine we know can fly down these long straightaways, and there he goes. And here comes his teammate Alexander Albon.
Trying to keep focus.
And we send it way too hot. Get turned by Albon and somehow keep it straight. What a mess of a first 3 laps, really 2, this has been for us. In our first ever start as an owner-driver for Rossy Racing Incorporated. And Albon got a little bit aggressive. I know I really sent it, but I was going like straight past him. I don't know how he even hit me. I wonder if he was on the throttle a little bit too long as well, as he'll follow us down here to try and get that slipstream. Here he goes. We really step on it, trying to challenge him. The hard tires, I think, already playing a difference, as these two Williams cars are having trouble getting around me. Albon takes the inside. Here comes Sargent. As we take out the cone, I am struggling through that first turn into the second and third. As here comes Logan Sargent, the Williams teammate of Alexander Albon. Try to pinch him. We run it a little bit wide. We'll keep him at bay for at least another DRS zone. These are really the two that we're fighting right now. I'm actually very surprised at the way Bottas kind of just drove away, but at the same time, we were fighting quite hard with the two Williams cars. We run that turn a little bit wide. This car just simply isn't great. It's the easiest way to put it. Sargent's gonna have DRS again. Can he get by us cleanly this time? We're gonna take him all the way down, shoot back up outside. Sargent defends the crossover. But now we have DRS heading into turn 4. Sargent takes us down low. We switch back up top. Pinch him down going into turn 4 and retake 20th position. Sargent gets by us on the last turn. We're going to have some ERS and some slipstream. He's going to get DRS, however, and block us off because we were still in front of him. Oh, he locks it up into turn 1. Sargent goes by us. Brad nearly goes by Sargent. And now we have DRS hitting into turn 4. Only if this fight was for the last points position would it be actually something to worry about. As we come to lap 7 of this Bahrain Grand Prix, here comes Logan Sargent once again. He's going to try to really pinch us here. We drop down to second. We're going to have DRS going into turn 4, but we nearly lose it. 2, even 3 times. We keep it on the track somehow. Sargent blocks the low. We're going to pinch him again around the outside. 2 wide into the S's. This is going to be tight.
4.9 seconds.
Our wing is still damaged. Doesn't allow us to turn as we drift into turn 7, I believe, or 8, I believe. Drop back in behind Sargent, and unfortunately, Rossy Racing Incorporated now 21st and 22nd. Although we do have some DRS again. Around the outside we go. Around Logan Sargent. Pinch him down into turn 11. Nearly lose the back end. Oh my goodness, man. Here comes the Williams. He will stay behind us to get DRS. Russell into the pits. So the leaders starting to come in for their scheduled pit stops.
ERS is low, ERS is low. Consider changing mode on your MFD or lift a little with gentle braking into corners to recharge it.
As Carlos Sainz basically runs into our teammate going into turn number 1. That should be looked at. That was very, very unnecessary, trying to get around Brad Benavides. As we are struggling to stay behind Logan Sargent as we go wide into turn 8 and drop it in to turn 9. We are going to be in DRS range here. Down the backstretch. Is this Sargent's push lap into the pits? Albon yet to pit, so I doubt it is. We're going to want to stay behind Sargent here, probably. get this tow down the front stretch. Oh, Sargent is in. So they leave Albon out. He is kind of the tires king, to be fair. As here are the leaders. Norris, Alonso, Hamilton. All here as we slide into turn number 1.
Come in for the hard tires. Car behind, running hard tires.
Norris already taking off. That McLaren is just so much better. I mean, obviously they are contenders, so it makes sense. Alonso defending us. Sainz puts his nose in there. And Alonso gets DRS from us. We were ahead at that moment of the DRS detection zone. We're going to pinch Sainz off here. Alonso, that was not enough room. We're lucky we didn't just sustain even more damage, and it would have been all Fernando's fault. We're going to let Sainz go here. Hamilton and Piastri behind us. I can see Brad behind them. As their hard tires continue to warm up here, as ours continue to shred onto the track. And I wasn't paying attention. I was trying to flip through the MFD, and now we are going to have to pit. No right wing. This completely hampers our strategy. I don't know when Brad was going to pit, but it wasn't probably lap 10. Oh, what a disaster. Not the way that we wanted this opening race to go. We're really going to have to cook on these soft tires.
Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one. Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty.
And there's Logan Sargent. We still did not lose that much time. I mean, we are right behind him. And we actually get DRS, and now we can see this car's full potential with myself behind the wheel as we've got the softs. We've got DRS out of turn 10. Too much speed for the Williams. Cut him off into turn 11 and regain that net 20 position. Brad comes in. Where's he going to be behind Sargent? And can he track him down?
Okay, so the car
Brad actually goes for the strategy that we were trying to do. Man, if we didn't end up taking that wing damage, especially the one with Sainz, where might have we actually ended up as Verstappen? DNFs. And if you've seen the two-player career, that is the same spot where he pulled off.
Okay, clear.
In the Bahrain opener on our two-player career with Ilisana. That is deja vu at its finest. Max Verstappen out of the race. And our teammate Brad Benavides is now ahead of Logan Sargent with those soft tires. So the soft tires obviously making a massive difference, but also showing that if we can get some more pace in this car, we might have a chance at making a little bit of motion within this midfield. Major props to Brad Benavides here today, dealing with not so great circumstances. But like him, we have caught Albon and Hulkenberg by about 3 seconds since we got put on these soft tires. So, yes, I'm not great at the game, but with a little bit better car performance and Valtteri Bottas not, you know, taking off our front wing, we could have actually ended up somewhere within that 14th to 17th range, I think. Because there's quite a few cars between Albon in 18th, and who knows who's up in 14th. But they're all pretty close together from what I know. As we come to 4 to go, the gap between Benavides and Sargent is now 3 seconds and counting. So some obvious pace against the Williams, at least Logan Sargent, as I continue to struggle, but now the tires are falling away a little bit. But you can see there is some pace against these midfield teams. I mean, we were catching, and are still catching, guys like Zhou and Albon, at least when we're putting down clean laps. Not enough performance just yet. This is probably where we are going to be for at least the next couple of races until we can get some of these more major upgrades in and start really making it count with our upgrades to try and catch teams like Sauber, like Williams, like Haas. When will that time come? Hopefully mid-season. We can really start competing for even points. Those 1 to 2 point races. Obviously this year we're not going to do much, but we weren't expected to do much in our first season. That's common sense. Coming to the final lap of the season opener in the Bahrain Grand Prix, Benavides has put a little bit of pressure on me the last couple laps. Our teammate really finding some pace with those extra couple laps that he has on us with those soft tires, as we have pulled away now 6 seconds from Logan Sargent. Brad really pushing us through these corners. Those extra 2 laps making the world of difference. It ain't gonna be the season opener, that we hoped for, but we aren't finishing last and second to last. As we slide into turn number 10, as Lando Norris will take the first win of this season here in Bahrain as Max Verstappen DNFs. It looked like the McLarens had quite good pace though, regardless today, and even in qualifying really showed that they are someone to definitely keep an eye out for as this season progresses, as we come down the backstretch for the final time. Myself in 19th, our teammate Benavides in 20th. Gaslight on, doesn't matter. Start finish line for the first time in 2024. Not a bad opening weekend, but something to improve on for sure.
It's always great to kick off the season with a race victory. You hit the ground running, and it's really good for your confidence moving forward. It's so important.
Our winning drivers are on their way to the podium.
And here are the final race results for round 1 of 2023, excuse me. Norris and Alonso and Sainz. So 2 Spaniards on the podium. Alonso had a phenomenal day. So did Daniel Ricciardo from 15th into a points position in 10th. As we look down the order, where Rossy Racing Inc. Ends up 19th and 20th. Our lap times they're far off. And that's just the truth. That's the harsh reality. But we're a newcomer, and that's what we're going to have to deal with. So I know this one was a little bit long, but it was obviously the first one of the series. So I wanted to give you guys everything and then yeah, I will see you guys in the next one for Jeddah. Hopefully we can make a little bit of an improvement and start going after Albon, Zhou, and Botas. But I guess we will find out in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments below if I need to make any changes, or what you guys think of this series. And, you know, are you excited for it? Because I certainly am. But I will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy. I love y'all, and peace.